Two serums can both say stem cells on the label, but one's made from human cells, another from deer, sheep, or even marine sources. Follow me if you like science-based skincare breakdowns, and save this one if you've ever thought about buying a stem cell serum. In my last video, I broke down human stem cell conditioned media, what it is, how it's made, and what it can actually do. Now let's talk about animal-derived stem cell conditioned media. Formula is made from the growth factors and peptides secreted by animal stem cells in a lab. You'll see them sourced from deer umbilical cords. Oh, does that ring a bell? Sheep placenta, bovine tissue, and even marine cell cultures. Each claims regeneration, but their science and compatibility are not created equal. So let's dive right into it. When you see Calecim marketed as red deer umbilical cord stem cell skincare, here's what that actually means and why the data is interesting, but it's not a slam dunk. The process with which they create the media that you're applying on your skin is similar to what is done for human stem cell conditioned media. Scientists grow these stem cells from the lining of a red deer's umbilical cord in nutrient broth in a lab. Those cells release proteins, growth factors, cytokines all into the fluid. The cells are filtered out, and the leftover liquid, the conditioned media, becomes the active ingredient that you put on your skin. So in this study from 2023, it showed that elastin went up 56%, hyaluronic acid went up 83%, fibroblast growth went up 113%. But wait, the same fibroblasts, when they're exposed to human-derived stem cell conditioned media, grew at 112%, meaning the deer version performed about the same. And remember, this was in vitro, in a dish, not on skin. Those fibroblasts don't have a stratium corneum, the protective barrier that blocks most large proteins. So what looks powerful in a petri dish may barely reach the same cells on real skin. Okay, so then did they do any studies on human skin? Yes, and they tell a different story. Let's pick the positive one first. In a small post-laser split-face trial, the deer conditioned media side healed slightly faster and looked a little bit smoother. That's helpful, but it's hardly transformative. In a larger random control trial, where there were 40 participants, they compared the red deer extract cream to an identical base cream without actives. So one half of the face got the cream with red deer serum in it, and the other side of the face did not get the red deer serum. It only got the identical cream base. 40 participants and 3 months. After 3 months, both sides improved. Blinded dermatologists, in other words, dermatologists who had no idea which side had what serum or what cream applied, found no statistically significant difference between the two sides. None. Only subjects' self-ratings favored the active side. The subjects knew which side was getting the active. That gap between how something feels and what it actually does is human bias at work. When we expect improvement, our brain looks for confirmation, a mix of placebo effect and expectation bias, and effort justification, honestly. You know, if I'm using the expensive serum, it must be doing something. Add a novelty bias, the thrill of trying something cutting edge, and subjective ratings will almost always tilt positive. That's not dishonesty, it's just psychology. We're wired to notice change we want to see, even when the data says otherwise. So then, if deer stem cell conditioned media really improved skin the same as human stem cell conditioned media, let's take the best case scenario out of those trials, right? Why did Calecim go with red deer cell conditioned media? Because their parent company is based in Singapore, and under ASEAN, that is the Association of Southeast Asian Nations cosmetic rules, human-derived materials cannot be used in consumer products. So switching to red deer umbilical cells was a regulatory workaround for them, not a biological upgrade. There is no peer-reviewed data showing wrinkle reduction or collagen remodeling in intact skin. Only if you've done something to injure your skin, it's going to help repair it better. But applied on intact skin, it is not going to help for anti-aging. So as a consumer, what do you choose? If you really do want to use stem cell conditioned media, and both options are available, then human-derived still has the edge. Its proteins naturally match human receptors. They have stronger signal potential. Deer-derived can mimic that activity in the lab, but it has not been shown to be superior in long-term results on real skin. So when you're thinking about spending hundreds of dollars, definitely something to keep in mind. All right, what about other animal-derived options? There's sheep-derived placental extracts and amniotic extracts that have been around for decades. They contain amino acids and epidermal growth factors, but most stem cell labels here, they're just lysates. They're not true conditioned media. So expect hydration and smoother texture, not structural change. What else is out there? Some Asian regenerative creams use bovine, placental, or fat-derived media that's rich in collagen fragments and repair peptides. They stimulate fibroblast growth in vitro, but there really are no compelling human studies. There's also marine or fish-derived stem cell ingredients. These are usually antioxidant peptide complexes. They're not real conditioned media. They boost hydration and lipid balance, but they're not going to replicate stem cell signaling. Think of them as advanced moisturizers, not regenerative actives. All these formulas formulas aim to deliver growth factors and cytokines that tell skin cells to repair, but human skin only partially understands those cross-species signals. So animal-derived stem cell skincare isn't a shortcut to regeneration, it's just completely different biology. Deer, sheep, bovine, they can hydrate, they can support healing, but they don't speak your skin's native language. If you learned something new, follow for more science-based skincare and share this video, because the more people understand the actual data, the less power marketing buzzwords have.